All right. All right. Put enough time into playing with these things, so now I'm ready to give them a proper review and tell you guys what I really think about using the Corsair XT Virtuoso headset. All right, I want to make sure that I shoot this straight to you guys with no fillers. The headset is great. I love it. And if you have any in-depth questions about it, I can definitely answer it in the comments. I won't be making another video on the headset. I don't want to oversaturate the channel with the same kind of content, but I feel like doing a trilogy in which an unboxing, some features, and then a conclusion. This is actually my official review of the headset, having owned it for some time now. All right, and now that we've got past that point, so just starting off, I've used this headset for many hours in many different ways. Took it to the gym for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, used straight Bluetooth using my iPhone, and the connectivity was great. So just talking about that, audio was pretty nice. Hard to compare to other headphones because I don't own a lot, but it does not have active noise canceling. So just keep that in mind. It's not going to absolutely drown everything out, and you're not going to get the most immersive bass. It's not going to be like a punchy, higher end Sony headphones or a Bose QC headset type of bass, because there's no noise canceling to this. But the sound is pretty good. You know, I use Apple Music on my iPhone, so it is what it is. That's how I listen to my music, and so whatever quality of application, if there's some EQ settings, you might be able to get better settings, but the audio was pretty good for me going in, doing some light cardio, doing some weightlifting. All right, so the next piece to talk about is just the universal aspect of this. So for the first time, you can completely connect this to every piece of technology that you have. They provide you with a 3.5 auxiliary cable, and with that cable you do have the ability to connect this to a tablet if it has a headphone jack just for audio. You can use it to connect to a PlayStation 5 and a PlayStation 4 controller using the audio for mic and the headphones to actually listen to the content too. You can connect it 100% to the Xbox One and also the Xbox Series S and X console using the controller, auxiliary port on the bottom of the controller. When you do that, you don't have the ability to do a quick mute functionality, be it from the mic or from the controller piece that comes on the auxiliary cord. What you have to do is you'd have to go through the actual software of the consoles that I just mentioned, and you'd have to mute that way. But you do have the ability to absolutely get volume from microphone and volume from you actually listening to your game through this headset using an Xbox controller. All right, next talking point's really gonna speak to the wireless functionality using the USB dongle, right? That's gonna be the best way to listen to this thing, okay? Now, you can tinker around with some settings if you download the IQ software. Beware that if you do mess around with some settings there, and if you try to listen to anything simultaneously with this, because this headset has the ability for you to do Bluetooth and wireless, right? Bluetooth being wireless, but wireless being 2.4 gigahertz using the USB dongle. If you do that and you fire up the IQ software and you tinker with those EQ settings, I have found that the Bluetooth quality simultaneous play is not going to sound as good. I've tested this with different applications, trial of Spotify, YouTube, right? Even Apple Music. It just didn't sound as good listening to audio and at the same time wireless while the IQ software was running. Now, minus the software running, it sounded fine. Now, finding the space to use dual audio simultaneously, I really think that really comes down to the gamer that may be playing and recording a game that may have some copyright music in it. For example, I used to upload a lot of Ultra Street Fighter 4 matches. A lot of the music on that game, if you posted it, it gets flagged, right? So in the options, you can mute that, right? Cool thing about that with this headset is I can still listen to whatever music I want to. I can upload that content with letting my viewers just hear the sound effects. And I can mix on my computer and just throw up some copyright free music before the stage to kind of give me that sense of I am listening to, or the viewers are listening to some music while I'm fighting my opponent. So just picture that when you go into the thought of what kind of features or what kind of use you would get out of dual audio. That's the first thing that came to my mind. It's really like a mixer functionality. Now, when I use this feature, I started out at 100% battery. I listened to both sources for like an hour and a half. I was at like 70% battery. So realistically, you're going to be looking at like 6 hours of battery, you know, doing both, right? So it does drain. But if you're just doing the USB or wireless, you're going to get really, really good battery, probably around 15, 16 hours of battery, just like you did in the SE model. All right, so my final talking point is the quality on this thing and the comfort and comparing it to the SE, right? So I don't want to make this a comparison video. This is a more comfortable headset, right? Immediately you notice that when you put this headset on, the band that connects the two cones doesn't feel like it's suffocating your ears. The SE, over long periods of time, it just naturally it feels tighter immediately. Now, when you first put the SE on for the first time, it's like, oh, this feels good. This feels like it's contoured and is fitting me, right? But over time, what happens is 4 or 5 hours of usage, that becomes uncomfortable. And you'll see a lot of people say in their comments of many videos with the SE, even the ones that I posted last year, me unboxing the SE model, that the headset was uncomfortable, it's uncomfortable. And I didn't know what they were talking about until I got this headset, right? Now, to begin with, being honest, I don't spend a lot of time gaming. I'm not the professional Twitch streamer or YouTube streamer. I don't play games every day for 6 to 8 hours or even 4 hours. I get on for a couple of hours, I get off. But lately I've been playing Days Gone, so I've been using both the SE and the XT headset. Putting the SE headset on for more than 2 hours for me bothers me because it feels so tight. That initial feeling that I thought was premium ends up making me feel like it's uncomfortable, right? You put the XT on for the first time though, you feel like it's contoured to your ears. However, it does feel like it's more relaxed. And I don't know if it's the way they did design the band that connects them or not, but it's a much more comfortable headset. So although I haven't gamed with more than 6 hours with the headset at one time, I could tell you that it feels more comfortable. So that should really alleviate and take care of those issues that people had with the SE model. Now, when we're talking about clarity, it does sound better. On paper, the drivers are supposed to be a little bit bigger, a little bit better, and the sound quality is a little more immersive. They are both true 7.1. I don't know if that's a simulation or whatnot. So they both sound really good when you're playing a game that can actually produce that kind of realism or immersion to what you're hearing. And so, yeah, they're kind of apples and apples in that regard. But with the different features that you're getting with the XT, on top of the fact that it's more comfortable, it's definitely a headset that you want to consider. Now, if you have any in-depth questions about the headset, if you want me to go over checking any other different things, something I might have missed, something another reviewer might have missed, let me know. This is just from a realistic perspective, just a normal guy. I picked them up, been stalking them, got them, tested them, unboxed them, posted them. Now I'm giving you guys the real on them. I like them. I'll be keeping them. And until next time, peace, God bless, and max love.